What's good, everybody? I'm Aaron Seibel, Sports Information Director here at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona. This is the Nest show, giving you highlights from last week's performances and giving you a little preview of what's to come in Eagle Athletics. Crossover is upon us. So that means men's basketball, women's basketball, wrestling are now in action, as well as men's and women's soccer, volleyball, golf, and cross country. So let's get into last week's highlights. A lot of stuff going on this week. Let's get into it.
Started off with women's basketball in their home opener last Wednesday. Haley Villegas and Danae Ruiz dominate the Bucks as they both score 20 plus. Eagles win big, 83-59. Men's basketball in the doubleheader. Nick Johnson's going to get to the bucket there to get the Eagles their biggest lead of the game, 12 points. But Park would come back, hit a buzzer beater, and win 57-55. Senior night for Embry-Riddle soccer. Seb Aguas, the senior, to Stuart Graves, the senior. His first goal of his career. He caps the night. Embry-Riddle wins 5-2. Now women's soccer. In the second half of the doubleheader, Parker Lee tries to find Sarah Vicente streaking towards the box. She's going to get by her defender. She slips one back to Parker Lee on her run. She's going to slam it past the keeper. Eagles win 5-0. Now the next morning, Saturday at the CalPAC Championships, Ariana Anderson put it down once again, running 18:36, one of the fastest times in CalPAC history. The Eagles would win their 5th consecutive women's cross-country championship. Now on the men's side, a lot tighter. Grady Kurse would finish second at 24:59. But the Eagles would have to battle to win their 6th consecutive title. UAV would press as they would finish 3rd and 4th, and Nicholas Hernandez comes in 5th for the Eagles. And following Hernandez is Luke English coming in 6th, who would help the Eagles score and collect their championship. Volleyball sweeps the Pioneers. We'll listen in for the call on this crazy sequence.
Roblin with a big swing. Big dig there by Gabriel. O'Brien just hits it over. Baldwin sets for Roblin again. Another big swing. O'Brien digs it. Gabriel sets for Williams. Hauser with a big swing. Dug again by Gabriel. Lucano. Another dig by Gabriel. She's all over the place. Roblin swinging. Kwapu sets for Gabriel. Gabriel digs it again. Dig by Aaron Clark. What a sequence we have here in Eagle Gym. Roblin with a swing. Gabriel digs it. Kwapu sets. Over by Gabriel. But it's out of...
Now on Audrey Baldwin Day, the senior would have 40 assists as the Eagles would sweep Providence Christian and would force Seabeggars into a tough spot where they were on the outside looking into the CalPAC. Eagles win their 50th consecutive CalPAC match. Same night, women's basketball. Danae Ruiz is going to come up with a steal. She's going to bounce pass it to McKenna Klecker, the freshman. Klecker had 8 on this 20-point run for the Eagles. Eagles win big, 98-31. Villegas leads all scorers with 23 off the bench. Men's basketball would bounce back in a big way. 5 Eagles would score 10 plus. Here, Nick Johnson getting a bucket, doing what he does best, slashing. And then there he is, Defensive Player of the Year in 2018, getting the block, leading the charge here. Now he's going to pass one back to Verdugo. Finds Dennis Pomazanov with the jam. Now for golf, on Monday and Tuesday, they played at the NAIA Fall Preview hosted by Benedictine at Las Cenas Golf Course. They would struggle as a team. Sean Poling would shoot a lights out 73 at the tough course, taking a tie for 10th. Eagles finished 9th.
Those are the highlights of last week's matches and games. Let's give you the preview of a busy weekend for the Eagles this week. Women's basketball taking on Kansas Wesleyan on Friday at 5 p.m. Men's basketball taking on the number 2 team in the country, Oregon Tech. at the Activity Center, 7:30. Be there, as Raytheon will be there supporting and giving out prizes all night long, so come out and win a couple prizes. On Saturday, the busiest day for the Eagles, there's 7 events going on the weekend. So women's soccer and men's soccer take on Benedictine in a doubleheader in Mesa starting at 2:30. Wrestling will be in action all day at 2 different tournaments in Fresno and Oklahoma City. Women's basketball will take on St. Mary at 6 p.m. in Leavenworth, Kansas. Men's basketball will play Ottawa in Surprise, Arizona at 7 p.m. in their grand opening of their new gym. Volleyball will finish the day at Benedictine at 7 p.m. in Mesa. Monday, only one game, women's basketball against Bethesda in Anaheim at 2:30. That's it for this week's preview. We caught up with head coach of men's wrestling, Casey Rock, to see what he expects from the Eagles this weekend as they go to 2 different tournaments, and what he expects from the Cascade Collegiate Conference champions of 2019.
We're here with head coach Casey Rock of Embry-Riddle Wrestling. Casey, big tournament this week, opening the season up. What are your expectations as far as going to Fresno and going to Oklahoma City?
Yeah, opening weekend, good competition against someone other than ourselves. Young guys will be out in Fresno. That's a freshman-sophomore tournament. So really the expectation out there is for them to go out, get 3, 4, 5 matches under their belt, compete hard. It's a different situation where they're at the end of their season and we're starting our season. So, they've got 20, 25 matches under their belt and we're just starting out. So expect the guys just to compete, work on their conditioning, and just looking to score points. The older guys will take out to Oklahoma City, and same expectations, just wrestle. There's going to be some tough competition. We'll see how it goes. That one, at least everybody's on their first or second competition of the year.
So you got 2 All-Americans returning, Daniel Butler, TJ Hall. What are your expectations for them kind of going forward? I mean, TJ is going to be, is this his junior season athletically, or is it his senior season athletically?
TJ is a junior athletically.
Okay.
Can graduate at the end of the semester, or end of the year.
Okay.
We're in talks about figuring out how to keep him around for his senior competition year. The expectations haven't changed for them. The expectations are become All-Americans. I know both of them are working hard to climb the ladder to be higher on the podium, make the finals, win a national championship. I know that's their goals, and so my expectations are their expectations.
As far as a team-wise goes, lost Eli Mason last year, 15-0 in duels last year, winning the Cascade Conference. What are you going to have to do to repeat as champions this year?
The goal never was to go undefeated in dual meets or anything like that. That's hard to do. So that's not necessarily the expectation. That's just kind of bonus points of working hard and just having everything kind of work out, no injuries and stuff. And that's what kind of the theme was last year, is we stayed pretty healthy throughout the year. We lose Eli, a lot of points at the national tournament. James Williams, our highest placers, redshirting this year, along with past All-American David Salazar. So there's some points in the room that we won't be utilizing, but all those young guys that we had in the lineup are all a year older now. Their expectations have changed. They're not going to be happy with just qualifying and getting on the airplane to go to the national tournament. I know they're all looking to win matches and become All-Americans as well. So, that's where we are for this year. Winning the conference, my main goal is to get 12 guys in the national tournament and 12 guys on the All-American podium or picture, I guess you could say, that hangs up in my office. So those are my goals. We're just going to have to battle. I would assume if we could qualify 12 guys to the national tournament, we're probably going to look pretty good at the conference tournament. But those results will take care of themselves if individually we can accomplish the goals that we've set out for each of the guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
So that'll do it for this week's episode. I'm Aaron Seipel, Sports Information Director. This is The Nest. We'll catch you next week. Follow us down below or subscribe on YouTube. We'll catch you next week. Peace.